So, Jeremy, thank you very much for being with us. First of all, I would like to understand what are the effects of the controversial statement of the president of COP28?
As you can imagine, it's got everybody talking in the press room and also amongst the experts that are here as well. There are some who are just very cynical, who are just saying, well, you know, this is a head of a massive oil company and he's trying to defend the technologies that they think are going to get them towards the goals that everybody wants of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, rather than doing what most of the people here want to do, which of course is to phase out fossil fuels entirely. There are people that you'll meet, well-informed people, I should say, I won't name them, who say, well, you know, if anybody's going to strike a deal here on climate change who's going to make a real difference to the oil industry, it's got to be somebody who's an insider. And so there's an argument that the way that this event is happening, the way that it's rolling out at the moment, these kinds of debates that we're having, which are not very pleasant to go through, are part of the process of moving towards a final decision, which may involve some guarded language on phasing out fossil fuels. But there are, I think if you were to take a vote at the moment, the majority would say, no, that language won't be there. But there are well-informed voices who say, no, we might just get there, but look out for the legal phrases that are there, you know, the kinds of words that are used, because that's the tricky part.
Also, we had this explanation of Al-Jaber. What you could say about his explanation? Does he denied what he said before?
Not really. I wouldn't think so, no. He says he respects the science, and he's said that many times at other press conferences and events. If people were watching them just before COP launched, he was at a very kind of discreet, small event, same thing. He says, I respect the science. Does that mean I am respecting it and taking action on it directly? A lot of people here think no. The other thing is, of course, you know, there are many solutions out there that are more or less effective at actually getting to where we want to go. That's to say, for example, the oil and gas industry will tell you about extracting CO2 from their factories, that you can actually carry on using fossil fuels, but you can take the bad stuff out while still using that energy. But if you look at the numbers, that's very expensive, technically very, very difficult. At the moment, we're emitting billions of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. And the reality is that the technology at the moment that's installed to directly extract CO2 from these massive power plants is at 0.01 million tons per year. So it's tiny. And so they're kind of betting on this kind of technology, which is rather in its infancy, very expensive, and nobody really wants to do it. All of the scientists here, all of the campaigners are saying, no, we just have to stop fossil fuels. In fact, what we need to do, they say, is we need to have a kind of revolution, but a positive one, where we move towards a smarter, better way of doing things.
What about, Jeremy, what about the results of COP28? Are they in a shadow of these controversial statements? Do we
Yes.
we expect some results, good results of this event?
I think it's a little bit early to say at the moment. When you're a journalist following these kinds of things, you see a big flurry of positive announcements, which we saw on health, for example. They had this big health summit. That was a good thing. They put forward some money onto this loss and damage fund. That was also a good thing. It's a positive step in the right direction. But once you've got past those first announcements, it gets to the point where the mood here calms down now, I would say, and you're into the phase where the negotiators are up very early in the morning and they're going to bed very late. I see them on the train when I'm coming here, and I know that they are secretly trying to work out what the deal will actually be, what the final wording would be. For us as journalists, we're not allowed into those rooms, and they certainly won't tell us if we meet them in the corridor or on the metro. So the outcome, yeah, there will be a statement, and I'm sure it'll make a lot of positive noises. And the UAE's done an amazing job of making positive noises from this COP28, but are they actually going to come up with the final real wording that everybody wants, which is phase out fossil fuels within X amount of time, with a time limit which is near?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy Wilkes, for being with us.
Thank you.